Hello, my name is Robert Balfour and I'm Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant for Fife. I wanted to contribute to Fife's commemoration to the Holocaust Memorial Day 2021, which is on the 27th of January, and this marks the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz Birkenau. This Memorial Day is not only to remember the 6 million Jews who were murdered during the Holocaust, alongside millions of others killed under the Nazi persecution, but also the millions of other people killed in genocides that have followed, namely Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia, the list goes on. You will hear Chantal's recollection of her experiences in Rwanda and about the family and friends she lost. I'm very grateful to her for telling her story. I ask that all of us in Fife stand together in remembrance of the people who died and to celebrate those who survived. Thank you.
Today, on the International Holocaust Day, we commemorate and pay tribute to the memory of the victims of the Holocaust. The date marks the anniversary of the liberation of the Nazi concentration and extermination camp at Auschwitz Birkenau. I visited Auschwitz Birkenau in 2016 and was deeply shocked to see and hear what had happened there. The occasion also provides us with a chance to remember other victims of genocide and mass extermination, including in Cambodia, Armenia, Rwanda, and Bosnia. Today, I have been asked to share with you my own background as a Tutsi, a people that were the target of 1994 genocide against Tutsi in Rwanda. Although the 1994 genocide against Tutsi in Rwanda had taken the world by surprise, it had not come as a surprise to us. The Tutsi, who comprised 14% of Rwanda population at the time of the genocide, had been the target of mass extermination since the 1950s. Rendering many of them refugees in neighboring countries such as Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. It is estimated that in 100 days, the Tutsi had been killed at a rate of 10,000 people a day, therefore leaving between 800,000 and 1 million people dead. To the world, this is just a number. To me, they are my dear relatives, friends, and loved ones. I was 18 years old when the genocide started. My family and I were refugees in the Democratic Republic of Congo at the time, hence our survival. However, very sadly, up to 27 members of my family, extended family, including aunts, uncles, cousins, had been killed. For fear of repercussions, the Hutus, soldiers, their leaders, and the Hutu militias ran to Democratic Republic of Congo because the Tutsi rebels had seized the country and liberated Rwanda from the genocide that was taking place. When the Hutu arrived in Congo, they continued with their killing spree. My family, friends, and I were faced and subjected to violence, to rape, killings, and pillage. I lost 2 friends to this brutality. My family, friend, and I were forced to run away back to Rwanda. The combination of trying to survive daily, Dealing with the shock of losing loved ones at such speed and scale meant that we did not have the time nor the capacity to comprehend what was happening at the time. The scale of the atrocity means that there are things I shall take to the grave with me. This is mainly because language and words often seem inadequate in face of such tragedy. Like victims and survivors of the Holocaust, I and my people have found ways to live with what had happened in my country. I was very lucky and very fortunate to come to Scotland, where I received so much support and professional help, which have enabled me to move on and come to terms with my complex and traumatic past. Today, I use my energy and creativity to speak, write, and share my experiences. This is not just to honor my loved ones and those that lost their lives. This is to raise awareness of the ugliness of genocide so that we can aspire to build a world that is better for our children and our children's children. Talking and writing about this suffering also provide me with therapy so that I can move on. Today, as we remember victims of the Holocaust and honor them, and victims of the genocide across the world, let us renew our commitment to the ideals that build rather than destroy. Let us forgive and look forward to the future. Above all, let us always remember that we owe it to each other and to our departed loved ones to build and not destroy, to forgive and not hate. And as a human race, let us always, always aspire to uphold values and principles of dignity, human rights, peace, and reconciliation. Thank you.
On behalf of all at Fife Council, officers and councillors, today we mark Holocaust Memorial Day to reflect on the murder of 6 million Jews and others considered inferior by the Nazis during World War II. We remember, not because we wish to dwell in the past, but to remind ourselves of the unspeakable horrors and levels of depravity that were inflicted upon our fellow human beings when the forces of extremism, hatred and bigotry were left unchecked. Sadly, there have been further instances of genocide in Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia and Darfur, where people were persecuted and murdered simply for being who they are. So today we must commit ourselves to resisting extremism wherever and whenever it manifests itself, as we remember those who have suffered and perished.